Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars.
Cowlazars, Cowlazars, come on, let's have some adventures. We'll spend days, we'll spend weeks, we'll spend months working our way through treasure hunts.
Cowlazars, Cowlazars.
Days, we'll spend weeks.
Cowlazars.
Mike drinks coffee a ton, feel free to send him some.
Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars.
Watch Mike once, you'll want to watch him again. James Frey once called him to talk Forrest Fenn. Cowlazars, Cowlazars, you cannot go wrong. You could even say bovine photons. Now let's get going on the double. Let's talk treasure hunts. Let's talk puzzles.
Coronavirus!
Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars.
Now we're live. Take it away, K-Pro.
I guess I need to unmute. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our fun little Forrest Fenn discussion time. Come one, come all. We are kicking off. Gosh, it's been the longest week ever known to man. So I am, because of coronavirus. See, it's not even going to bother me. That soundboard isn't going to bother me today. So I am excited. You are all here. And we are kind of going to just do kind of a free-for-all tonight. So first, Mike, how are you?
I'm good. How is everybody? I just woke up, but I'm starting to wake up. So we're getting there. Yeah, tonight we got open phone lines. Tonight we got a couple riddles we want everybody's help on, and you might even win something. And then we got open phone lines for anything. Let's not even say the poem. Let's just say open phone lines for anything in the world. So yeah, that should be fun.
Well, and then
open the phone lines. We'll give the phone number out in the chat.
I will say, you guys know I'm a little bit of a betting kind of woman. And so there are 3 announcements about one, a new poker tournament is coming up next week, set of tournaments with a prize. We're going to talk about that. And then I have a little wager against Mike, and I have a little wager against the lead searcher. And I want to talk about both of those. So we have so much to talk about tonight. We got to jump in. We got to get started. Yeah, still recovering from last night's insanity. Last night or this morning. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit, Sassafras, because we had hours and hours and hours and hours of discussion and talk.
Don't be a player hater.
Don't be a player
That's
hater.
regarding last night. Yeah, Chasing Indy already knows one of the puzzles we're going to talk about. That is the one we're going to put out there for anybody that doesn't know about it. Somebody's got to solve this thing. There's been a riddle out there for over a year that nobody can just figure out the correct answer. So we're going to put it out there, and some smart people here, somebody's going to figure it out.
The feather butt riddle? Is that
Yeah,
that's what AJ.
riddle. You know what it is, AJ. Hi, William Sparks. We're glad you make it. So just want to remind everybody to thumbs up the video if you like what we're doing here. Carrie says the soundboard's too loud. Well, Carrie, maybe your volume is too loud on your video. Let's see.
They're down the phone.
Is that too loud? That can't be too loud.
Of course not.
That was just for you, baby.
That's for you, Carrie. Okay. There we go. Nice.
Yeah, now everybody's saying
right.
button.
And then I've got a question. I need some searchers to help me because I have a bet with K-Pro about
That's
a
one
little
of them.
book called Too Far to Walk. Or I might have it wrong. Maybe it's Once Upon a While. You got to give me both books anyway. I think it's Too Far to Walk, though. But we'll
No,
see.
you said the bet was too far to walk. That's one of the bets. So, you know what? Let's put this out first, just so Mike and I are both spitballing. We're talking about this crazy treasure hunt, Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, and Mike made a statement, like many of us do, and it's wrong, I believe. And Mike's like, "Oh no, it's right."
I couldn't have made this up. I've heard this somewhere. So somebody
And
else.
I will tell you, I just said, "Do you want to make a wager on it?" And he said, "I'm not confident I do." And I said, "Okay." And we made a wager on it. We're not going to say what the wager was, but it's big. So then Mike went to some forum, couldn't find it. And he said, I'm going to throw it out in the chat tonight. Someone will find this quote for me. We have some huge, huge stakes on this. So Mike, do you want to lay it down? And don't change it. It was too far to walk. Go ahead.
I wish you weren't a liar.
There, is that lower? A couple other people said it was too loud. So I apologize if the soundboard was too loud. All right. So here's the deal, everybody. I remember that there is a link in Too Far to Walk in one of the illustrations that there's a link to a video. It doesn't have to be YouTube. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's, what's the other thing other than YouTube? Vimeo. Yeah. Vimeo. There's a link. So in other words, it's like water. It's like talking about maybe the Madison or talking about Madison Junction. And there's a link. When you go to that link, it shows you a video of the water. Does anybody else?
Mike, Mike
is in Too Far to Walk, Forrest Fenn's Too Far to Walk book. Is there a link to a video? I just remember a link to a video that shows water. So Forrest is talking about, I don't know if it was Madison or Ojo Caliente or what it was, but there was a video. And when you go to that video link that's in the book, it shows you the water.
Okay, give us a page.
So what it says, I remember that, but somebody's got to show it to me. What page is it on? In other words, that's what we're wondering. And actually, I didn't grab the book. Do you have a Too Far to Walk available, Chrissy? In other words, we want to look it up, right? So we're gonna have to grab a Too Far to Walk.
Yeah, I think there might be one at your house. You're probably gonna need to. Yeah. I don't know where.
Somebody let me know what. The swaying grass. Exactly. INFJ. The question is that in the book or am I river bathing is best, right? Can somebody give us the page number? Page 23. So in Too Far to Walk, page 23, river bathing is best. There's a link to a video and it shows the water waving in the thing. That's what I thought.
I knew of the video. I don't think there is a link to it in Too Far to Walk. I might be wrong, but
how else did we get to it? Like you thought it was somewhere else other than the book?
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a scrapbook. Maybe it was a link on Dale's site. So Too Far to Walk, there is a link that you take. And I know we're echoing. We're having some issues. Okay, so there is a link that's they're saying on page 23. I'm looking it up. I'm gonna look it up because I Susie said it, so I believe her, but
Chasing Indy has it. Chasing Indy says the last sentence in river bathing is best. There's the picture of the fire hole, and it has a link at the bottom of the photo. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
And it is Vimeo. Carrie Galloway says it is Vimeo. So,
Indy, can you take a quick snap and send that to me on Messenger?
23, everybody. Thank you. I didn't know what page it was on, but I knew it was in the book.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we got that one put to bed. Now, thank you very much. Let's see if we can get these two riddles put to bed. So breakfast, tea, and bourbon. You remember this one, Christy. Do you remember working on this back then? So we didn't know each other back then. Did you ever work on this or before it was solved or no?
Yeah, I did. And I did lose the bet. I'm the first to say I lost the bet. Okay. I owe you, Mike. And
that's where I had the idea of one of our top secret projects. So we'll talk about that later another time though. All right, check it out, everybody. On Facebook, there's a Facebook group called Breakfast, Tea and Bourbon. And this was a treasure hunt for $50,000. That treasure hunt is over. The Coy Lothrop family right here. They're the ones that found this flute is what we were all looking for. They found it in Arkansas, if I remember right. But once this treasure hunt was over, Pete Bissonette, there he is right there. He came out with this riddle as just a secondary fun thing. And this is the riddle. I fly like a realized bourbon red with a pointy head and feathers on my butt. Where am I? Now, notice it doesn't say what am I. It says where am I? And these are clues. He's come out with all these clues since then. And the winner, whoever emails him through this website, whoever emails him, the correct answer to this riddle will get a case, not a bottle, but an entire case of Buffalo Trace bourbon, which was a drink that was in the book. And a lot of us have just thought about this, but look at his clues. So back in December of 2017, he said the 5th. Now, if I remember right, I thought that was a chapter in the Breakfast, Tea and Bourbon book. I'm not exactly sure. People in the chat who are into this, you're muted, K-Pro. Oh, I see. Sorry. Make it bigger. Okay, here we go. There, you guys see that? I fly like a realized bourbon red with a pointy head and feathers on my butt. Where am I? Sounds simple, right? But as I was saying, look at the clues. The book's main character, Nelson Ware, said every word is important in my writing. Focus on the word realized. There is one definition that can change how you look at the riddle in a big way. A massive endeavor points to your case of bourbon, a massive endeavor. Bourbon is for celebrating the riddle, not finding the solution. So it has nothing, the bourbon red has nothing to do with the bourbon that you drink, okay? And then this is a clue he just put out. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I believe? And it says, I fly, what flies? So when it says I fly, what flies? Just that comes to my mind off the top of my head is a plane, an arrow flies through the air, or a bird, right? A bird, a plane, maybe an arrow. Like a realized, what does that mean? The word realized, what is the definition he's trying to get across? Bourbon red, what is that? We can all look up bourbon red. It's a kind of turkey. With a pointy head and feathers on my butt, he says, everyone gets that. And where am I? And he's like saying, well, so me and K-Pro thought of this, and we just tie it into Forrest Fenn's poem because we think that Forrest Fenn is doing the same thing. He keeps saying, read my poem. Just read it. Look at the definition of the words and read it and think. It's the same with this riddle. I think Pete Bissonette is going, why has nobody solved this thing in, it's been what, 2.5 years since he released this riddle, and nobody has got the right answer. So right there, email me, cowlazars@gmail.com. If you got any answers or if you think you can figure it out, just send it in to Pete, and let's put an end to this thing once and for all. What do you think about it, K-Pro?
Well, I'm going to go a little different. I think the word realized, it's like the third or fourth definition to work kind of like what you did with the keyword in the Forrest Fenn poem. So I think realized, what does this mean? Fifth word, he's already pointed, realized is going to break it loose. Bourbon red, what is that? I know he means something there. I don't know what it is. If anybody has ideas, let's get together and then we'll all take a bottle of this. But I think people are talking about it, but I think we need to do a separate show just on this, knock it out. And you asked me before, I didn't answer because we transitioned. I do have breakfast tea and bourbon. I did drop out of it probably after a couple of months, and I wasn't as focused on it, but I was a part of it for, I'd say, a good 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It was something I focused on. So, but I don't think the book is necessary for that. I think he's made that clear. You don't need the book or to remember all the pieces of the book to solve this riddle. I don't know if it'll help you or not. Bourbon red is a type of turkey, realized, free, aware.
That is correct. Gregory Colvin Garcia says a bullseye on a dartboard. In other words, a dart that you throw through the air. Where am I? He's on the bullseye in a dartboard. That's a different way to look at it. That's interesting.
Well, what I think of,
city or a location.
I think of the peacock for you TV watchers. What network is it? ABC, NBC? NBC that has the peacock, and I don't know. That's what I think of. Don't know.
So just a fun little riddle. It's just 2.5 years. So we'll see if he releases another clue or not, but it seems like we should have enough to figure this thing out. So how many bottles are in a case? Does anybody know? Anybody a hard alcohol drinker? I don't know how many bottles you would get. I know I bought a bottle when this came out, and I even did a couple of vlogs about this book back then and drank it while I talked about it. So it'd be cool to have a case. We'll see. We'll see if somebody can figure it out. Feathers on a butt. And then the Redneck says, what's the update on Beacon Star? We're going to talk about Beacon Star next. Let me bring up.
So if anybody's interested, let's get a group together and maybe Zoom and get the breakfast tea and bourbon out of the way. Let's just throw some ideas up and see what we can do. So.
Okay, so riddle number 2 before we open the phone lines. Beacon Star, Randy Pischel, you know, he was on the show. He was on the marathon, the author of the Beacon Star, which is a treasure hunt in Denver, Colorado. We believe it's somewhere there in the Denver, Colorado area. And his book you can get on Amazon for $7. The prize is $5,000 in a gold coin. He also mentioned before, and I sent him an email just the other day and said, why don't you give us an update? Because he said $1 for every book. would be added to the prize pool. So, you know, if he sold 200 books, well, then it's up to $5,200. So, and today, AJ says, I have a whole series of videos on, where'd you go, AJ? Oh, there it is, on the breakfast, tea, and bourbon riddle. Check out my YouTube. So, yeah, or AJ, maybe you could come on the show, our show, and maybe we could talk about it and kind of bring everybody up to speed. But the Beacon Star, I mean, especially in today's times, whenever so many people are laid off, why is everybody laid off again?
Coronavirus!
Oh, that's right.
Coronavirus!
That would be why. Especially now, I mean, $5,000 is huge for somebody that has lost their job or doesn't know when they're going back to work. And we're all stuck at home. So what a perfect time to work on it. It's funny because Randy even did a public service announcement and said, now's not the time to go boots on the ground because everything's closed. You're supposed to stay home. But now would be a good time to get the book, read it, and prepare in order to go boots on the ground. I know a couple people in chat, a couple of our friends live in Denver, and I want to give a shout out to Sassy because we had a little group that worked on it for a while, and I know we haven't got together in a long time because it's hard. The book is cipher based. It's codes and ciphers, and I'm going to show you one of the codes right now because I want people's help on this one particular code. Go ahead, K-Pro.
As you're bringing that up, there was 5 or 6 people that said they are up for doing a Zoom on Breakfast, Tea and Bourbon because they've worked on it at one time or another. Here's what I will do. AJ, I will go to your channel. I'm going to link all the different pre-work that we can do. And let's get together maybe this weekend or maybe early next week. And let's spend an hour and just kick it back and forth and see what we can come up with. So if you want to email me at kpro3@aol.com, I will get everybody together or I'll throw out a couple of times, see when we can all get together because I'm sure we're all in different time zones. But 4 or 5 people said they want to get together for it. And hey, we have at least that many bottles and it's more for the fun of it. It's more for the pride of it. So there you go. There you have it. There it is. This one, I do have to say for Beacon Star, for me, it's way too cipher based. So that is not going to be one that I continue to jump into. So yes, and that includes you.
And I want to give everybody an example. So this is an example of one of the ciphers, and this is, in fact, one of the puzzles in the Beacon Star. Shout out to Randy Bishel. And also, here's the other thing. I want to say, sorry, Randy. Let me do this. Because if you guys follow Randy, he is also known as Star Thinker on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel called Valentine Goose. And sometimes he talks about, he's been making videos about the thrill of the chase. He recently got the book. But one of his videos he made about the Beacon Star is he says, keep your mouth shut. Because he knows once people start sharing in a group setting, his puzzles are going to be solved. And he knows that if a bunch of people came together, they would figure it out. So sorry, Randy, in advance, but I'm going to share this puzzle because this one has been bothering me for a long time. This is called what I call the triangle puzzle. Now, I'm sure a lot of people right now are seeing it and they're going, well, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, what the heck is that? Give me 1 second. Okay, there. So it's a bunch of seemingly random triangles. And if you look, there's some dots. And I got to give a shout out to Sassy once again, because she pointed out there's actually more shaded dots than we thought. And I will show this. Can I zoom in? Yeah, I think I can. Zoom, zoom, zoom. It's not zooming though. There we go. So there's some shaded triangles, and some of the shaded triangles are small, which is the green, and some of the shaded triangles are larger, which is the orange. And she pointed out that there was an extra shaded triangle. We thought there were 8, but it looks like there's 9 shaded triangles. And what we're supposing is that each of these shaded triangles forms a letter. We're looking for a 9-letter word or phrase. Let me go back to the other one. Let me do this. This one I should be able to zoom in a little bit better. Okay, if I get this out of the way. All right. So if you zoom in, and I know most people who aren't into codes and ciphers are probably going, well, how do you even, what is this? I don't even understand. But it looks very, very complicated, but some of the other puzzles have been solved in the Beacon Star, and they're really not that complicated when you break them down. And if you look, you could say each triangle compromises a letter. So you could go, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It's just something simple like that, in my opinion. There's a certain way you could number these to where there's 13 to a side. And then where the dot is would be a letter, maybe. So here would be a letter. Here would be a letter. These are two separate shaded. One right here, right here. So
Davy is saying print this out and fold it. And if you fold it certain ways, they line up.
Well, there's got to be a way to make the triangles represent the alphabet or letters, in my opinion. Because in order for it to form a message, it's got to relate to letters, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It looks really complicated because this is actually called a Sierpinski triangle. You guys can look that up. I believe it's a mathematical thing. Randy just took it and repurposed it into this. But if you so what's cool is you could take one triangle here, and this is the same thing just blown up, and then this is the same thing just blown up, and then the whole thing is the same thing blown up. So he made something look very difficult that I don't think it is once we break it down. But to my knowledge, nobody has solved this yet. So again, 9 shaded triangles. Let me bring this back so you guys could see it. Shaded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small shaded triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4 large shaded triangles. And that's one of the ciphers in the Beacon Star. So shout out to Sassy for making this and for pointing out there were actually 9 shaded triangles when a lot of us were thinking there were only 8. So I know there's a lot of smart people that work on Forrest Fenn's poem. And if you need a break, maybe you could work on this. Okay. That is the Beacon Star. So sorry, Randy, but I'm gonna crowdsource this one. We're gonna solve this one, just this one. There's actually, geez, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how many of these are in the book.
As many days as we've been in coronavirus, 397.
12, 11. There are 11 puzzles in the book, and I believe one is a red herring. We know that one's a red herring. I think I figured out which one is the red herring. But that's a Beacon Star. If anybody's interested, if anybody has the book, you want to collaborate, email me, cowlazars@gmail.com. Mirror image. Yeah, those triangles are just a mirror image of each other, right? So there's something, it's not as hard as it looks. We should be able to figure that out. If we were to get a Zoom going like we do with poker, but if we got a Zoom of a bunch of people together just to talk about that puzzle, we would solve it in an hour, I bet. If everybody would just throw out ideas and somebody would actually figure it out. So that's a Beacon Star, $5,000 plus a gold coin. He said he got the gold coin. I'm paraphrasing, like 10 years ago. The gold coin cost like $2,000 back then. So who knows what it could be worth nowadays. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Christy. You got any ideas on that one? As far as I know, nobody solved that, but maybe somebody has and they just haven't. Redneck says, nice update. Very interesting. Thanks. That is the Beacon Star. Okay, so we figured out the Too Far to Walk video link. I should have known it was river bathing is best. That's one of the more popular ones. Breakfast, Tea and Bourbon. Somebody just asked to join it on the Facebook group. So any of you out there that are in it, please let them in. The Beacon Star, I'd like to get a group of people. We had a group of people that really worked on it and solved a couple of things that I don't think nobody else has, but I can't share that because we are in that group. But this triangle puzzle, if we could just solve this, I'd be a happy person. Okay, poker tournament. We want to talk about that, and then we will go to phone lines for sure.
Yeah, and I had one other thing to talk about after.
Oh, yeah. Anything else you have to talk about, Kate?
Okay, so we did maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we did a poker tournament where we had 4 different flights. And then on Sunday, we did a finals and we had a prize, which was number 25 of the 2019 Searcher coin that kind of looks silver-ish in color. That one is complete. Oddly, Forrest Fenn won, and I can tell you it wasn't actually Forrest Fenn. And so really good poker player. There's a lot of good poker players. There's been a group playing every night. Many times a night, sometimes up until the morning. So we said we were going to cool it a couple weeks and experiment with the different prize pools of chips and all the different ways that we could set up the tournament. So breaking news, dun, 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 dun. We are coming up with our next tournament. So or a series of tournaments. So there's 115 of you in the club. I'm getting lots of emails about the Breakfast, Tea and Bourbon. So the poker tournament, it's going to be in the evenings. It's going to be next Monday, next Tuesday, next Thursday at 7:30. So it'll be almost after any of the shows that have kind of a regular time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. and you can see 2 of them are ours. So we're going to make sure to cut off there because we're going to jump over to the poker tournament. And then there's going to be, so flight A is going to be Monday night. Flight B is going to be Tuesday. Flight C is going to be Thursday. Flight D is going to be Saturday. And then the finals is going to be on Sunday. So if you come in the top 3 of any of those, you're going to be in the finals. There'll be 12 people. It's a winner takes all. We have had a donation of a Copper Dan artwork piece. It's his newest one, what is that? Okay, Too Far to Walk. And so for those poker players in the room that care about this, I'm going to throw this out. It is 5,000 chips to start with, 20,000 K buy-in, no rebuys, and 3-minute blinds. So know that piece. If you have questions, email me, kpro3@aol.com. Nemo and USA China, Sam, are the people that are kind of heading this initiative along with Mike and I. We're kind of we're talking about it, we play, but they are really the people that put a lot of time and effort into it. So we thank them. So next week, prizes. What else can you do? It'll be awesome.
I know you just said it, but I'm just reiterating. Again, it's pokerstars.com. First thing you got to do is get it downloaded, create a username, and then join our home game that's on there, Home Poker Club.
Right.
But it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the 4 tournaments. Say it again.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Final game is Sunday.
Correct. And
the winner of all that is going to win one of Copper Dan's Canyon pieces. So that's awesome. One of his Too Far to Walk pieces, one of his copper pieces. Cool. That's awesome. Addocaster says, didn't somebody win a prize on Indies? That's all K-Pro. I came in late. I don't know what happened on that show. So talk to K-Pro on that one. He was saying the trivia on Chasing Indies channel. I'll let you deal with it.
No, someone mentioned it in the middle after Indy and I had already said not to. And some guy named Cowlazars came in and was like, oh, who won the prizes that we were giving away?
It wasn't a prize. Sorry, Shadowcaster. You got to play poker now to win, I guess. I don't know.
Actually, he was really good in poker last night, so I think he could win something. Okay, so that is poker. But here's the big thing, and we're going to say this in the chat. If you win one of the flights, you come in the top 3, you must email chaseopoly@gmail.com because we have a certain way that we have to set up the final table for Sunday. If you don't email, it'll automatically go to the next person. So you need to email. And if you win the tournament, you have 1 hour to email Chaseopoly with your address. And we'll get to all that later, but I wanted everybody to
and I just got an email from Caleb who says, hey, what about them wall maps? What's the deal with those? So I have 9 of the benchmark Too Far to Walk wall maps left. They are 24 inches by 30 inches. They're perfect for framing for your wall. We sell them for $75 each. Just email me, cowlazars@gmail.com. And if you want to buy one, we'll set that up. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All you care about.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so that's poker. And someone asked what happens if Mike or I, because I have won 4 or 5 of these tournaments. What happens if one of us, if we make it to the very end? Well, this one I don't have the piece yet, so I would be definitely in. But I will probably donate it to somebody else.
Oh, I'm playing to win. I have 2 of them. I need Too Far to Walk. I need the 3rd one. So if I win, I'm keeping it, putting it on the wall.
Email and oh yes, I'm sorry. Not only do you email and say I was one of the finalists, you have to email and say I was Forrest Fenn in. So I would email and say I'm KPro702. Here's my email. I need instructions on how to get to the final table. So we need both, not only your email but actually your handle name, and that's how we get you set up. So okay, so poker. It's going to be fun. There's as much poker going on, but this time it's for a prize. We're going to probably do it like the marathons once every month or 2. And when we have a prize and a donation, we did get a donation. We had another one last week. Forrest Fenn, the poker player, donated a few items and we put that in last week. So we've had different prizes. Poker's fun. And those of you that don't know poker, it's absolutely free. So come and learn poker with us. We Zoom, we give super secret hints. There has been some information thrown down in there. Just saying. There you go.
So okay. I was just looking at some of our voicemails, and this is one that came in from Mr. Tony Rusi. This is back on April 27th, but let's talk about it right now before we open the phone lines. He says, hey, I got a question for you. How can the treasure location be isolated and at the same time 500 feet from general passersby. Contradictory. Well, I look at it this way. We all go to Walmart, right? Everybody in the world goes to Walmart. I was there today. Everybody in the world goes into the front entrance of Walmart. But what about that back entrance where the deliveries are made? You could say that's isolated from the general public. It could only be 500 feet away, but nobody goes in the store that way. Only a select few. So, and in the same way, somehow there's a location where a lot of people have been within 500 feet. But to go to where the treasure is, it's just somewhere that somebody doesn't usually go that way. They're going another way for some reason. Does that make sense at all?
Well, and I want to throw it in a different way. There's two things I want to say as possibilities because I've thought about that a lot. One is, could it be 200 feet from a road that the road does not have an ingress or an egress, a way to park? But if you then have to go and park at a parking lot and come back, that's 500 feet away. But you could pass it on the road and be 400 feet away. Or there was a tuber that did this. I don't remember which tuber it was. If I were to stand here, let me walk 200 feet, and he walked 200 feet. Do you know how far that really is? I mean, and you do that twice, you could be well off of a path very quickly into, I mean, Mike, you went to Yellowstone with me. I mean, think of the falls that we were at. 200 feet, you'd be right darn in the middle of that canyon. That's 200 feet. You could be really isolated really quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's contradictory at all. It's just where the actual 10-inch by 10-inch location is. People don't usually go there. It's isolated. Okay.
I have one last announcement, and then we can dive into phone calls. So last night, I got wrangled onto a show, and we did some good chatting with some roosters. And I went back and forth with a searcher who believes he is the lead searcher. I call him my favorite lead searcher. But we also, gosh knows, I like to wager. So we've made a little wager. I want to make it public here. So we have a $2 bill that one of us is going to sign. If he has not found the treasure chest by the end of this month, he is signing a $2 bill that says K-Pro is the queen. I am going to, if he has treasure chest in hand, I am going to sign one. Who would care at that point? But I am going to sign one that says Jack Jack is always right. There you have it.
This is that with Jack Jack?
Yep.
You have a brain like a chicken.
Okay. Well, Jack Jack, good luck, I guess. Yeah, good luck with that one.
It's out there. It's everywhere. I got a good hour of conversation time with Jack Jack. Yeah, easy money. And that's, my family has the $2 bet because it's a $2 bill, which is kind of cool. And then someone signs it and all of them go up on the wall. None of them ever get cashed. It's like the point of pride. So that's what we're doing. Jack Jack was in here. Oh, Jack Jack, there he is.
He said, sweet.
He thinks there's no doubt about it. He's going to have it well before that time. So, so we'll see. We'll see which one. But by this time, he's going to be showing. I think in a couple weeks, he's going to be showing that $2 bill. We'll see.
Goddamn white boys.
We will see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to put the phone number in the chat. Give us a call. You got a 5-minute limit, everybody. We're already halfway through the show. 5 minutes only.
Okay. So did you already put the number out?
I just did just now. Yep.
Okay, great. Okay.
Could you get your daddy on the phone?
All right. Phone lines are open, everybody. Come on and give us a call. Remember, Breakfast Tea and Bourbon riddle. The Beacon Star has many ciphers and riddles, but just that one, the triangle one, I just want it solved. And Randy, you could just give us the answer if you really wanted to. But I know you won't. But they'll update us on what the current prize pool is for the Beacon Star. And then, yeah, K-Pro's got her. She lost her bet to me, but she's got her bet with Jack Jack. So maybe she can win that one.
Darn it. Darn it. Darn it. At least we didn't wager anything too much. But it is.
Hello.
Oh, we didn't. It was more just I knew what I was talking about. I just couldn't remember what page or what chapter. But, you know.
And I will say, anybody who calls in, let's be nice to them and respectful. It's been kind of a rowdy, maybe week or two of some people not, and I'm one of them. So I'm going to be on my best behavior tonight. So there you go. Are you planning a marathon soon? I just asked that of Mike yesterday. I do all the planning for the marathon. Mike just has to show up. What do you think, Mike?
We'll see. Well, once things open up, I'm going to get out there. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, yeah, of course there will be another marathon. We just don't know when yet, but we'll see. Chasing Indy points out that she fell asleep on her show.
Well, I dropped off of that show, I think, at the 5-hour mark. And when I went in, I saw that the clip was 8 hours and 45 minutes or something. So do you remember the other night where it was like, I'm dropping off it? They went on for at least 3 more hours. So
You, that's all you care about.
exactly.
Live audio from Candy's when she fell asleep.
Yeah, Tea Redemption, that's what the number is for. Anybody can call in that would like to be a part and have some discussion. There's been some people that were all about wanting to discuss some things we wanted to make tonight. We couldn't have a whole bunch of different guests, so we told everybody to call in and feel free to call in.
I've already had an answer emailed me for the breakfast tea and bourbon riddle, and they said, hey, send it in. If it's right, we'll split it. I don't think it's that easy, Andy, but hey, I will send it in to Pete and we'll see.
And I've already had a couple people of when is the Zoom? Here's when I'm available. I'd really like to get together and hammer it out and let's see what we do. So kpro3@aol.com. Yeah, if things don't open up soon for boots on the ground, I'm going to go crazy. I think everybody is like that. Yeah. And so, and guys, I will tell you, and Jack knows this. Jack is my favorite lead searcher, meaning please hold.
Okay.
I can't hear anything.
Detroit, hello.
Hello, this is John. How are you?
Hey, John, we're good.
Just one real quick question. I think the key to solving the treasure goes back to the first day when he placed the treasure somewhere out in the wilderness. Does anybody know if the truth is he left his house, drove somewhere, put the treasure down, and then drove back to his house the same day? Is that an accurate? Have you heard a different story, or is that accurate so that you could basically figure out the radius from his house to where he could drive to and where he could come back in the same day?
I don't think we can say definitively that he drove from his house. I think he did say he made 2 trips in an afternoon, but I don't think he's ever said from his home. In other words, if he was up in Cody in a hotel room, he made 2 trips in an afternoon. You know what I mean? If he was in a cabin in Colorado, he made 2 trips in an afternoon. I personally don't know that he's ever said 2 trips from his home in New Mexico in an afternoon. What do you think?
So he has said, these are the quotes that I know of. He says, you start this treasure hunt by getting in your driveway, getting in the car, and driving. He does not say whether he gets on a plane or how far he drives or how many days it took him. He did plenty of New Mexico up through Cody over to West Yellowstone many, many times. He has never said how like, I don't think you can narrow it down. So by any of the quotes that he has given, whether he flew, whether he was on vacation, whether many people think he said he was home for dinner that evening with Peggy at his home. I've never been anyone who says it, I say, show me a quote, and they've never been able to. So I think there's lots of rumors about that one. I don't believe it's out there.
And a lot of people point to where I believe he has said that Peggy didn't even know I was gone. But again, if they're both up in Cody for a week and he left from their hotel room and hid it and came back, she wouldn't know he was gone to hide the treasure. So I don't think he has ever said, and I don't think he ever would commit to saying I was one afternoon from my house in Santa Fe. So, and because it would help narrow it down if he would do that. And I don't think he's going to do that.
Well, and Indy is saying something about Peggy taking a nap. I haven't heard that one. So that would be a new one to me. Put it in the chat or call in, Indy, because I haven't heard that one. That'd be interesting to hear.
Where are you calling from, John? What state?
I'm in California. I don't fly. I usually take the train from here to Santa Fe and then to Chicago, and then my relatives in Boston and New York. So the next time I come to Santa Fe, I'll, come through Albuquerque and take a different train and maybe spend a couple of days up by you guys and, look for the treasure myself. I have a few ideas. I'm more, I don't know, skeptical. I think that if you use the logic that he left from his home and returned to his home, maybe there might be some places like the Rio de los Pinos that the other show talks about. Something like that, you know, something that'll be fun for my trip. If I don't find it, hey, but at least I got off my butt and I had a good time on my vacation.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
true. Good deal. All right, John. Thanks for the question. It does, because a lot of people say things like that. He made 2 trips from his home. Well, we don't know it was his home. We don't know, we don't know that for a fact.
Okay, I really appreciate your insight. Have a great evening.
All right. Thanks, John. We appreciate it.
Bye, John.
Could you get your daddy on the phone?
Okay. Phone lines are open. I will put the number in the chat one more time.
AJ just put it in the chat. We're good.
Thank you, AJ. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Okay, so I did that announcement. Okay, so he either took the plane up by Yellowstone or drove close to his house in order to get it down without Peggy knowing in the afternoon. I think there was times that he went to shows. He was a board of directors. There could be so much going on that I don't think there's any way to know. I just debated this with Cynthia the other night. Okay.
Gonna have to wait. Okay, Bro and Kyle, who do we got?
Hi, it's Charlie. I just wanted to call and say hello.
Hey, how are you? What state you calling from?
Good. I'm over in Thailand right now.
Oh, Thailand. Nice. Did we talk to you before or no?
No, I've just been lurking, watching you guys, and just wanted to call and say thanks for what you guys are doing. It's been very entertaining.
Now, you live in Thailand, or you just on vacation with all the
No,
craziness
I'm from
going
Northern
on?
California.
Oh, okay.
I'm mostly on Dale's blog, but I came over here on vacation and kind of got stranded because of the virus.
Oh my goodness, that's kind of crazy. Wow. And
For
you're
sure.
surviving
Yeah,
there.
so you're waiting to
But-
come back.
Yeah, they canceled my flight like 4 times. The one particular airline I'm booking with, and it's been okay. It's a great place to do lockdown up here in the north of Thailand.
Yeah, I lived in the Sacramento area for 10, 15 years. So California, northern, southern, that's
Yeah.
that's where I used
I
to
was
live.
Carmichael, and Manzanita, and
Okay.
Fair
Yeah,
Oaks
that's where
in the late 80s.
okay, that's exactly the city I lived in.
I call Ukiah home these days.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Yeah, well, it's
I
like
don't,
it's kind of like it's a smaller town outside of Sacramento. So for someone to say the town, it's like really wow. Okay, that's funny.
it was fun. Very, very hot there in the summer.
Oh yeah, try Vegas. I used to think it was hot. Yeah. Well, interesting.
What state? Do you have a state you think the treasure's in?
Well, I'm kind of the dartboard approach still. I have to be honest, I'm armchair still, even though I've been aware of the search since May of 2015. I haven't ventured out yet. I like certain areas in every state, West Yellowstone, Wyoming all over, northern New Mexico. I don't know Colorado. I've had a few friends that said it sounds like Pagosa Springs to them, and they don't even know anything about the search. And 2 different friends said that.
And I think when I looked up the oldest hot geothermal source in the Rocky Mountains, I think Pagosa Springs came up. So hint of rich is new and old. Maybe that's the old, we just don't know yet.
How long have you been in the chase, Charlie?
Pardon me? Say again?
How long have you been searching a part of the chase community?
I first discovered the thrill of the chase in around May of 2015.
Oh wow, okay. Good 5 years. Okay.
I stumbled into Dale's blog and just watching it evolve. It's amazing what you guys are all doing on YouTube. This Smell the Sunshine's doing amazing things.
Yeah, he has some very thoughtful videos and a few new tubers coming out. So, and I think that's what happens. It seems like the cycle is, everybody kind of comes out of the woodwork as things are warming up, and now we have some new tubers and some new thoughts and some new ways of thinking about the poem, and that's what we like to do too. It's kind of fun.
I sort of really am in the camp that it evolves with fishing and a fishing spot. It's sort of along a stream. It's a very special place. Beautiful, but it could be totally wrong. It might be an old war battlefield between, mountain men and cavalry and Native Americans, and no stream in sight, but it seems like it's a stream.
That's
fishing.
Pierce.
I recently finished reading John Charles Fremont's memoirs, and that really opened my eyes up to the possibility of Wyoming, but I don't know.
And fun fact, that Fremont is the same Fremont, in fact, that Fremont Street is named after here in Las Vegas.
And Fremont, California, and he found a mountain in Wyoming and called it Fremont Mountain. He said it was going to be the tallest mountain in the Rockies. It wasn't, but that's a neat area to scope out on Google. It's right in there in some of those talked about areas.
And I know in the Thrill of the Chase, a lot of people have put together Fremont with John Charles, whoever, or
Yeah.
John Charles, whatever, right?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
bottle
and
of olives.
that
Yeah.
took me. That didn't come to me right away. And then one day I was listening to NPR on the radio, and they were talking about him, and I'm like, I had an aha moment. It's like, what? That could be who John Charles is.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, it was one of the first things I kind of researched when I first got the book too, as well.
It's kind of neat, his memoir, when they got to the Wyoming part and the stuff he's seeing. It sounds like he's seeing the remains of glacier movement, and he doesn't even know at the time what he's seeing. He's talking about the trees that are chopped up, and it's pretty cool.
All right. Well, good stuff. Well, thanks for calling in all the way from Thailand. That's awesome. We appreciate it.
That's the first for you guys, I bet.
Let us know when you get back into the States for sure.
Yeah, I'm currently scheduled for early June, so maybe I'll get a search in this summer.
No, don't. That's what we're all hoping for at this point. But yeah,
I kind of don't want it to be found, but I do want it to, so it can end. But I don't know.
Right. If it's found, at least put the solution out so we can all know what it is. That's the only thing I say.
Yeah.
If it's going to be found, they better put the solution out.
Yep, I will. I would if I found it. I'd wait a few months, have some fun, like Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn did. I would just wait a while.
Okay, thanks for
you guys.
calling. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, all the way from Thailand. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you are stuck somewhere, Thailand, I mean, it's really, really, really cheap to stay there. So at least you're not. I mean, what if you're stuck overseas for 2 months? Ugh, that'd be rough.
Okay, Pro Cal.
Hey, Michael and Christy, this is Davio 22 out here in the wild.
The one, the only. Davio, how are you?
Davio!
How goes it, you
player
guys?
Expert.
Yeah, expert. I love that. So can you hear me? Is the phone working?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Okay, good. It broke up for a second. Well, here I am in Denver, and it's windy as all hell.
Detroit.
Looks like,
Phone line.
it looks like there's a whole bunch. What's that?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, soundboard through phone sounds like really big doogie.
Oh, gotcha.
because of delay. I can't hear it. I can't listen on the computer because of the delay.
Gotcha.
So, the question is I went boots on the ground yesterday, and I was really scared to do it. But the good news is it worked out absolutely fantastic. Excuse me, don't swear. And it was outstanding in the field. It was good, to get out of the bloody house because we're all freaking rats in cages. And then second, it was good just to kind of be out and look around and get all the images of the place back in my head. And it is fantastic. So I'm psyched.
Did you have snow on the ground, or is the snow gone?
There is tiny little bits of snow. As a matter of fact, it's only in the shade and on the, what I guess would be the southern side, the most shady parts of the area. And so there was a little tiny bit there, not on the walk in, but just kind of in one little place I kind of needed to look, which was hilarious. But I find this is, I don't know, I'm reinvigorated. I'm happy about what I found. So
you're still in your original area, right? You still think you're in the right area from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in one spot that's got fantastic rock formations and all kinds of stuff. And it's really kind of, well, it's freaked me out, blew my mind away. So I'm just kind of going in there and doing all the due diligence, doing all the little details. Page 99 has turned out to be really, really, really informative. There's a lot of information on that page.
Okay. And
you were talking about a code, Michael, right? Like on Beacon Star, like that little piece of paper. If you fold it in half, you'll see all kinds of 6-pointed stars, right? And then what will stand out is where those little shaded areas are. If you hold out to a light, and if you color all those in, and then you draw lines between everything, it'll probably tell you something. But who knows?
it would be interesting to have it to where you cut it out and you fold it up. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I could see Randy doing something like that.
Yeah, you just fold it up, hold it to a light. Now you're going to see 6 pointed stars, and what's going to stand out are those shaded areas, right? They're going to stand out a lot. So I don't know what it's going to make. You should put a JPEG up so I can print my own and do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'll email it to you. If anybody wants that, and I don't think it's a problem to send one page from the book. So anybody wants a copy of that triangle puzzle, I will email it to you in JPEG form. Just email me at cowlazars@gmail.com. And yeah, I think if a bunch of us put our heads together, I really do think we could figure that one puzzle out.
Yeah, I'll mess with it for a little bit, but I'm so wrapped in all the other stuff that's in the Forrest thing. Yeah, maybe it's a good distraction.
And that's it. That's the point. You know, put down the Forrest Fenn poem just for a couple days while we're all stuck to waiting, no boots on the ground, and try something else. And you know, Davio, everybody, I'll put it out there. If you do get the Beacon Star, Davio is right there in Denver. He may be your boots on the ground person for a percentage. You know, I don't know. Talk to him. That's up to Davio. But I'm just saying, it's pretty cool to live in the city where the clues are for a treasure hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds great, Mike. That'd be terrific. Give me a call. Let me know. I will find. We'll work something out.
Okay. And we do know it is a token in a park. Well, I believe
we'll see you guys in the poker, and thank you very much. This whole poker thing has been really, really fun. Thank you very much for all this.
Yeah.
Nemo has been great with all this. That's been terrific.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to Nemo and Sam for sure. Thanks. Okay, Davio. We'll see you on the table probably tonight. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll see.
Okay.
Night. Ciao, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's Davio.
Okay, a couple people were T-Rex, T something. I was gonna say call in anytime. That might
all right, after this one, I'll shut it down so we can say what we gotta say. K-Pro and Cal, who we got?
Yeah, Doug Carver in Canada here, PEI.
Oh, hey, Doug. How are you?
Doug.
Great. I ripped apart all my solves to the point where I have nothing.
So where you just disproved everything?
Yeah, well, my very first solve way back in the day, 2011, got ripped up after the 8 miles were added to the thing just north of Santa Fe. One of the first ones that worked out great was Battleship Rock.
I think is that Colorado? Battleship Rock?
No, New Mexico. Just barely. If you go White Sands and go straight over, Battleship Rock is the far west part of the Rocky Mountains before it starts heading north. Up Highway 4.
Okay, I don't think I've heard that area as far as search area before. Interesting.
Yeah, James Spring or whatever Cynthia was mentioning, it was a first search area right around there because Toledo something or other mountain range is just a little further north by about maybe 15 miles.
Okay, interesting. So you are in New Mexico, or do you go wherever those clues?
No, I have no state now, period.
You're right.
And a long time ago, I told Toby, because your president before did some rewriting for different lands to be changed to wildlife habitats. And I thought maybe Forrest went running off to the lawyer's office because Browns Canyon was changed.
Okay.
Oh, why he went before and after. So some people think that the worst part of the chase is the walk of shame right after your boots on the ground. I find it when you're between solves, when you finally discard your last solve and you haven't found everything that you love about your new solve, your new love solve, if you will. It's almost like the random, first dates between the two loves of your life.
Yeah.
Have you had a time that you didn't have a solve before, or did you just scrap your first solve?
No, I just keep going through them. I even look at other people's solves and see if I can bang away and say, okay, maybe they just missed something, in the area, like the next clue, like they're real close, like we got a hint of 500 and 200. Now, this whole business about people and searchers. If people are emailing Forrest Fenn, obviously they're searchers.
I agree with you. I think we are picking apart words if he says, yeah, the person that emailed me, blah, 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 rather than the searcher. I mean, does he have to say the 50-year-old searcher female that, I mean, I agree with you. I think we're mincing his words when it doesn't fit our solve.
Yeah, because further down in the thing, the interviewer person one time in one of the interviews asked if these people and how and blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, they email, they're searchers. You know, like a few lines further down, right?
Yep. Well, I agree with you. He didn't even have to confirm it with any reporter, in my opinion. But well, like a lot of people.
No, but I'm just saying, like over the years, people forget these little interviews and little things and not read further into the interview. They just look up certain things.
Yep.
And come up with different conclusions. Now, I believe there's two things that I'm looking at for my new solve. And it has to do with halt.
Oh, interesting.
And either I'm going to go with east or west parts of the edge of the Rockies for my halt. You know, like the borders of the two of, you know, your big map that you have behind you there.
Oh, I see. So halt meaning like the search area, the border where it halts. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be right on that line, you know, so the last thermal warm waters on either one of those things from, you know, east to west thing, because north and south is, you know, like kind of, you know, it's going to be on either side type of thing.
I can see that. A lot of people think halt is the word that is key. You know,
well, that's the only way that halt will work.
Right.
If otherwise, it'll have to be a rest stop for the warm waters, like a parking lot that says rest stop.
Okay. If we in fact park, if put in means park, right? I guess so. It's definitely.
Well, no, like that would give me a rest stop for the warm waters halt, and then you do the canyon down, and then there's a pull in.
Oh, I see.
Now that one mightn't be marked the same as the start.
And that would be a logical solution, which is what I'm leaning toward. But a lot of people are talking about this emotional solution. This emotional thing keeps popping up in these Zoom sessions that we're having. And it's foreign to me, but we'll see.
You know, tears down your face because you're at a particular spot. No, that doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Not with everything that he says. If you go through each things that Forrest said in interviews to people, you know, like it doesn't add up. You know, like it can't, right? Either that or you're going to have to say that it's more than 85% untrue what he's saying.
Yeah, and I don't believe that. I know he says, you know, what is it, 15%? Writers only have to be right 85% of the time.
Yeah, but it's only a truth that's stretched.
Embellishment, right? I hope there's no embellishment.
It's only slightly stretched. So, you know, like you go, oh well, you said this, you know, within 200 feet. He goes, yeah, okay, so it was 250. So sue me.
Right, right. I got you.
Well, when I sat with him one time, what he said was, sometimes when he's telling a story, like he told a story about going to the bookstore, and he's like, oh, it was raining that day, so I had to hurry in. And then people would go into the Farmer's Almanac and find out if it was actually raining, and it wasn't, so there was a hint in it. And he's like, I just added little details to make, because he's such a great storyteller, and the little details, right or wrong, make the story. And he's like, I've never been held to this level of everything it didn't matter. He's like, it didn't even matter if it rained or not, but now people are saying the story holds hints because, and he said, when we interviewed him, that was one of the things he never thought about. There were several things that he said he never thought about, even though he says he thinks of everything. He said people hanging on every single word. Like if he sneezes, it's a hint to something. The color shirt he wears, how he stands. I know I'm not going to say what, but a couple people, when we had that picture. It was me, you, Mike, Cynthia, Doug. I don't remember who. It was the group of us, Mike, and he was standing there, and his hands were crossed like this. I had 2 people message me. That's a hint. That's the sign that I have the right solve because I just sent him that, and it's like literally everything he does.
Oh, you mean that George Washington secret giveaway?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was something to it. I just thought, oh, the man cannot do anything
Yeah,
without.
I know. I know lots. Like I've been watching Cynthia. I've been watching Dale. The whole thing about underwater got started by Dale, the interview guy that was the news reporter. He hinted at the show before he did the thing with Dale going out for his first big thing. I think it was Channel 4 or something, KOB or something. And he put stuff out on YouTube, and that's how I picked up on the search back in 2011. So,
Interesting.
and he kept insisting that it was because the part of the interview of it wet being underwater, right, was this big hint. And Dale was under the impression it was underwater in a pocket, right, when he first started searching.
There's been all kinds of theories, but at least Forrest has clarified the little bit that he has, so we know it's not.
Yeah. Now, one of your callers called in. How would we know what time span Forrest was gone for? He could have been gone for a week. We don't know because it's from 2009 to 2010 that he went and hit it during some summer.
Right. And yeah, it could be any of the 4 states. I mean, I think Christy has shown that she believes he traveled to all 4 states in the time period that a lot of people think it was hidden. So
yeah, well, he even gave a hint about, well, I made sure that it was that I'm going to not narrow it down more than 1 year time span because I don't want people to be able to go to rental agents and find out what cars that I got or.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to reverse engineer by his travel, how he went there, how he went there, what he took, all of that. Yeah, that's
how many times did the girls go off in some time period for a week or something for a girls' trip, and he had a week to do whatever he wanted.
Or when he traveled with Peggy up north, there would be times that he would be gone for an entire day, from what I understand. And she wouldn't have known, is he going to a board of directors meeting at Cody, or is he out, hiding a treasure chest? I don't think she'd know.
Yeah, that was
now, if I could have one question, sorry, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could have one question that I could ask Forrest Fenn, I would want his outdoor bathing maps of all the different spots he bathed in the Rockies.
We know Ojo Caliente was one, but yeah, and the fire hole. But there's
no. I want the 1,000 that he did, or 100 or 200 or whatever it was, because I think that's one of them is the special spot.
Okay, Doug. Thanks for the call. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, thumbs up, guys. Thanks for the shows, and I'm not into poker, but whatever. I kind of pop in and kind of see what people are yapping about.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Sure. All right. Thanks.
Oh yeah. And coronavirus, we only had 27 cases. We're down to the last one to not die on us, and everyone's good.
Good.
Oh, good.
So we all have 0 deaths here on PEI.
That is good to hear for sure.
Yeah, no, and every single one of them were international travelers that showed up here on PEI that ended up sick.
Oh, interesting.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. No,
all right,
so I don't think that any of us are immune to it because, and they got all locked down as soon as they arrived, right?
Yep.
Anyways, that's a different story some other night. Talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, have a good night. Well, I did want to say, Gregory asked, did you confirm my quote where Forrest admitted that him misspelling knowledge stressed the importance of resourcefulness? No, he said the opposite. He said, I said, what about aberrations and misspellings? And his answer was, what do you mean? Give me an example. I said, like knowledge without the D. He said, I'm just having fun with people. I'm telling them to use their imagination. It doesn't mean anything. He's like, it goes right over their heads. I can't believe it. I say that, and then everybody thinks there's a hint in any misspelling or any inaccuracy. So, Greg, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he has said there's something to look at there, look at the edges, etc. But during our interview, he made it very clear it was the opposite by a lot. Yeah.
And I shut the phone lines down. So if you
Dun,
didn't get
dun,
that, we
dun.
will do this again.
Could you get your daddy on the phone?
And you will have the opportunity to call in. We did get a couple voicemails while people were on the line, and I will go through those at another time.
Well, I did want to make one clarifying statement, and I wanted to do this at the end just because I don't want to cause any controversy. For some reason, some of the forum members, and I've answered this on my own forum today in 2 different ways. They did not get word that I have no longer been looking or no longer seeking the FOIA. The FOIA came up in the chat a couple times tonight. Many thought I've had it and I've been holding it, and that's not fair, and this, that, and the other. One, that would be fair if I wanted to, but that was not the reason I was getting it. I was going to be sharing it with the search community. It was probably at least 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, that I stopped that process. And I've said it so many times, I thought everybody knew that. I didn't know people were still waiting on it. But yeah, totally old news, sassafras. So every once in a while, something bubbles back up, and I'm just putting that baby back in bed. Let's see, sent it in and pillowed down, something like that. So that baby's put to bed. So,
Yeah, if we had the FOIA, if K-Pro got the FOIA, I would let everybody know. Trust me. Even if she didn't want me to, I'd accidentally say it in a live show one way or the other. So yeah, no FOIA. That was stopped. And I don't think it's ever going to be pursued, is it? At least there's no plans, is there? Not at this time.
no, there's no plans at this point. I mean, it was yeah. Did you catch Fantastic Adventures video before it was pulled?
I don't know what that is. So no. Do you?
I don't know what that is either. So
Thank you for that.
But thank you for the super chat. We do appreciate it.
yeah, so the answer is no from each of us, but
okay.
yeah, they're love to hear about it. But
like somebody made a comedy or some kind of a joke video, which reminds me, Fenny Bones posted that he's going to make a parody video of the chase. So he's looking for pictures. So if anybody knows, of course, I don't have an email for Fenny Bones that I'm going to give out, but on some of the Facebook groups he posted, is anybody interested in giving boots on the ground pictures? He wants to make a parody video. So we look forward to that. I'm not sure when he's going to have it out, but that'll be pretty good.
Oh, and you know what? I think he's starting it with I don't know who he is. I think he's starting it with the best of intentions, but there's been several parodies over the years, and I'm not sure any of them have gone right. They've all gone a wrong way. So hopefully he does well with it, but yeah. So
Jeff says it was an overproduced video about a solve. So no, I didn't know about it.
Alan K is asking what happened to the German documentary. That's Jens. Jens, probably, I want to say 3 months ago, I saw a picture up on his we're Facebook friends. He was interviewing another searcher. So I still think it's alive and kicking, but I'm sure everything like ours is on hold. That would be my guess. Oh, I've narrowed it down to, I think, 5 people who is Fenny Bones. But if somebody wants to remain anonymous, I let them remain anonymous. I'm different than a few people out there. So let's let him remain anonymous because, he's not some famous guy. I don't think it's Ashton Kutcher. I'm sorry. No, I don't think it's a famous person. So his name is John Doe. It doesn't even matter, but I think he's having fun. And I think he's been very lighthearted. I even got sensitive because you know who you are. I was talking with somebody else yesterday, and yeah.
And Shadowcaster says he thinks the parody will be ready this weekend. So that's pretty cool. And Rooster Cogburn says, side subject, UFO sighted here in Las Vegas on May 5th, which was Cinco de Mayo. Check out the YouTube video. I know you're also a local. Well, one, I didn't know you were local, Rooster Cogburn. So that's cool. We'll have to get together sometime. And 2, I will definitely check that video out because I did not know about it.
Rooster? I did not know, Rooster, you were a local.
Well, again, I'm interpreting. He may not have mean he's a local. He may mean I'm also a local and another local saw a UFO. So, oh, she. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. She or he. I can't tell by the screen names, people. Now there is a guy. There is a person here in Las Vegas that puts up a bunch of UFO videos. But what I don't like is he in his backyard. He kind of keeps a camera running, but he'll put up a video from 2 years ago. And look at these lights that were over Nellis, and they're cool videos, but he doesn't do anything current. They're all older videos. But anyway, I didn't know about the UFO sighting. I will check that out. Thanks for the heads up. What's Gregory? The quote is right off of Jenny's site, posted 6/26/2014. Dear Mr. Fenn, the definitions of words seem to interest you. What dictionary and year of dictionary did you use for looking up words? And Rooster says, I'm a dude. So I don't know.
Okay, then you're actually, I see the rooster that okay.
You got confused? Yeah, okay. There's a lot of roosters out there, aren't there?
Well, I don't think the rooster Cogburn here is the rooster Cogburn from the forums. Maybe because I now see the rooster.
Rooster Cogburn is John Wayne, right? The John Wayne movie. That's what comes to mind when I think about it. But anyway, yeah, he did answer about a dictionary. I just can't remember it. He says, do you have the answer there? Yeah, somebody will post the answer on what dictionary Forrest says he used. We got a super chat from 3D Bronze. How you doing, 3D? We haven't heard from you in a while. Fenny Bones is Ray Finkel. Ray Finkel is Lieutenant Louis Einhorn. Lieutenant Louis Einhorn is K-Pro, and K-Pro is Forrest Fenn. What movie, K-Pro? For $1 million, what movie quote is that from?
Airplane.
Yeah, I didn't think that's why I said $1 million. Probably I'd say half the people in the chat got the movie reference. Good one, 3D Bronze. And
wait. You got to tell me the movie reference.
Jim Carrey's in it. Let's see if you can get it now.
Let's see, The Pet Detective.
Yes, actually, it is a Pet Detective. Very good.
Okay, do I win $500,000? It was my second
Einhorn
guess.
is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Oh, I've actually seen. Yes, I've actually seen parts of that because actually my son liked that movie, but I will not admit that I've actually ever seen that movie.
Thank you for that super chat, 3D Bronze. Are you still doing the masks and stuff? I know it's been a while. You know, you've been doing it for quite a while, if that's the case. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, anon. When Nature Calls was part 2. That was kind of funny too, actually. Ace is out. Oh, all the Finkel references. Okay, you want to keep going? You want to wrap it up? What do you want to do, K-Pro?
No, we have some things we need to be doing
Yeah,
outside. Yeah, so we need to wrap it up. But wow, 271 of you, thank you for being here, especially on a little bit of a relaxed night. So I do have several emails already. There were several people in the chat. Make sure to email me if you want to be a part of the Breakfast Tea and Bourbon. There was already some references of what city it is in, and some people confirming, yes, that is true. Okay, the two roosters are having conversations now. Okay, I just knew a rooster that's Peggy is for Penny Bones. I do not think I would take that bet. Let's bet, Alan K. I do not believe Penny Bones is Peggy. $1 million. I'll give you $1 million if that's the case.
So we do thank you everybody for joining in. Make sure you thumbs up the video. We do hope to see you on the poker tables on Poker Stars. It's absolutely free. It's just for fun. It's something to do while we're all stuck in coronavirus self-quarantine day 368. And it sounds like somebody's going to get one of Copper Dan's pieces, which is awesome. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we will be back on Monday, the Hint of Riches channel. We do go live every Thursday and Monday. And yeah, tell them bye, K-Pro.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night. I'm sorry for the echo. That's why I've been having to mute. So I'm sorry I was a little quieter tonight, but I think all of you probably love that.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Table by the pepper and the salt, you can begin your adventure where the warm waters halt. No harsh sun, no rain that pours. Do your Forrest Fenn search indoors. It's safer and it goes much faster. It's more fun than playing canasta. If you're wise and you find the blaze, you can play several times in just one day. Chase awfully. The thrill of the chase. Take your journey without ever leaving your place. It's fun for the young. It's fun for the old. Get your title to the gold when your real search for the treasure needs a break. Play Chaseopoly. the thrill of the chase. Chase happily, the thrill of the chase.
All right. Thanks, everybody. That triangle puzzle, we can solve it. Email me if you got an idea. And breakfast, tea, and bourbon. We should be able to knock both of those out.